doing the witchy thing too much? Why can't I do sentences at all today? Hello team, my name is Monique. Welcome back to the Cauldron, where we today are going to walk through some 5-star premonitions that I have. Also now with a ring light. In case you didn't know, this is Bookwitch Reviews, my channel, and today, as I just mentioned, we are going to walk through some books that I believe are firm 5 stars. I am very, very, very excited about doing this because I get to talk about some books that I am excited about. So let's just jump straight into the cauldron, straight into the what ifs. I don't know what I'm doing today. Okay, I have coffee. First up on the list is a sequel to a book that I only just read recently that I absolutely adore. That book is Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames, which is the sequel to The Kings of the Wild. This is a book that is set around the idea of a D&D campaign and like a band tour at the same time. We are set in a fantasy world that is gruesome with monsters and like this horde that they keep talking about that is going to take over the kingdom. And the first book, The Kings of the Wild, we are introduced to a band of brothers who are in their later years. They have done the touring, they have been famous, they are now over it, they have children, and Bloody Rose sets off from the first book, and we are following the daughter of one of our mercenaries from the first book. I absolutely loved everything about Kings of the Wild. It was funny and gory and witty and yet somehow heart-wrenching, and I have heard that there is even more queer representation in the second book, and also I have just heard that Bloody Rose is just like gobsmackingly awesome, and I'm very excited about finding out whether that's true so I can stab it with a 5-star stamp. The next book is another follow-up to a series that you may have heard me mention briefly, occasionally, sometimes. I will dedicate a whole video to it at one point, and that is the continuation of the Black Jewel series. The Queen's Bargain came out last year, however, I am scared to pick it up. 1, because I really want to do my full reread, and 2, also because a return to this universe is a return to something that shreds my heart every time I go through it. But to explain really quickly, I obviously can't go too much into what I believe will be in this book, but I can tell you about the original trilogy. And basically the original trilogy is set around this very dark fantasy world that is split into 3 realms. We have the living world, and we have hell, and then we have a third world. And basically the way that Anne Bishop apparently thought of this scenario was the idea of what if good was evil? What if hell wasn't necessarily like this evil place, but just another state of being? And then we have different castes in this world that are set with these jewels, which are basically like magical powers. And in this world, things have been going rotten for quite a while. And there is this prophecy of the dreams made flesh, who turns out to be a very young girl. And then we have 3 main men who may or may not be a triangle of power around her. And this series is just so intense and so deep, and I would definitely check up on trigger warnings. There's trigger warning for sexual assault, for torture, for mental asylums and being forced into them, for gaslighting, and some people really don't like it because there are these slight threads of one of our main characters meeting this young girl while she is very young, and he is sort of meant to be her future mate, and some people don't like that. However, I feel like it's done very like tentatively and very thoughtfully, and basically this series is just like my whole heart, and it is the series that I recommend the most to people, especially people who love ACOTAR, because I read this series way before I read this one, and I saw the inspirations that Sarah J Maas has taken from this book into this book. Not that there's anything wrong with that, we all take inspiration from places, but it's a series that I want people to read. And this, I am absolutely sure, will be another 5-star for me, because I have yet to read an Anne Bishop book in this universe and in her other universe that isn't a 5-star. She has a couple of other series that I didn't love nearly as much, but they are still tantalizing. That's the best way that I can describe these books. They're just like, I just want to eat them whole, and then I want to thought process about it for years while I hibernate. Next up, we have a book that I can't figure out whether I am going to love deeply or whether it is going to go the complete opposite way for me, and that is the Dawnhounds by Sasha Stronach. Sasha? which is a urban fantasy book. I believe we have queer content in here, female romance, and basically we are following Yat, who is this like disgraced cop turned private investigator who accidentally stumbles onto this conspiracy, and they try to kill her for it. However, it does not stick, so an ancient intelligence reanimates her to set things right, and she sets out to do what she can, both to take revenge but also to save the city that she lives in. And one, this cover is just so incredibly stunning. I love it so much. And two, I am a big fan of urban fantasy. I absolutely adore it, and I really want more of it to be queer, for you know my heart. So I'm really hoping this will be another 5 for me. Next book is a book that comes highly recommended from such wonderful people as Justine from I Should Read That and Judith from Dead Good Book Reviews, and that is The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker, which seems like a book that will just sail into my favorites and then just stay there forever. I am not entirely sure of the actual plot of this book. All I know is that we are set in a world where for millennia people have been building these ships out of the bones of ancient dragons. They have a special kind of magic. They hold all of the power. However, now for the first time in years, a new dragon has been found, and so people set out to catch it, and I'm guessing kill it, which I'm not entirely up for. But I believe that we follow a guy who is sort of reluctantly the captain, and then this other woman sort of takes over. Justine talks about it a lot. She does it very well. However, this just sounds so good, and also R.J. Barker just seems like a wonderful human being on the internet, and that's what I need. I just need some wonderful human beings, and then I love the idea of these giant sea serpent dragon creatures that people are apparently making ships out of. Wait! The second to last book on this list is a book that I'm hoping will sneak into another favorite, and that is A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White. Alex White is a gender non-conforming author, which we know we all support and love. And this book has been sort of tied to Becky Chambers' A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which we all know is a favorite sci-fi of mine. This is another book following a misfit crew. Apparently we have a washed up treasure hunter, a hotshot racer, and a deadly secret society, and apparently they are all on the lookout for this ancient warship out in space that everyone is trying to gain control of. I believe we have a lot of queer characters in here. It is also one of my favorite Instagrammers, like favorite series, and I just really desperately want to read it, and I really desperately want to love it a lot. Can I just let me give it 5 stars and let me love it? Also, I believe this series is complete. I believe it's a trilogy, and if it is, then I am happy, because then I can just, power read them like I do. And last on this list is the absolute wonder that is The Merciful Crow by Margeret Owen, which is a book that I am really desperate to pick up, because Margeret Owen has a new book coming out this year, which is called something Thieves. I'm going to put the cover to it here, and she keeps giving snippets of it on Instagram and Twitter, and I am literally salivating to read this book. However, I would like to read this duology first. It starts with this book, and then it follows by The Faithless Hawk. Is it The Faithless Hawk? Yes, I believe it is. And basically this is a YA fantasy duology where people are divided into castes that are named after birds, and they each have different magical properties, and they each have different kinds of jobs. And so the crows deal with magic through people's teeth, and they are thought of as these like outsiders, and they deals with the dead bodies of the population, and especially the victims of this plague that the crows are invulnerable to, but everyone else is not, and so they are looked down upon even more. However, our main character Fee is just sort of trying to live her life and look down and only take care of her own when she is asked to come and pick up the crown prince and his bodyguard's body from the castle. However, it turns out they might not actually be dead, and Margaret Owens, as I mentioned, just seems supremely funny and really great. I have heard mainly good things about it, and so I'm hoping I'll be able to give it 5 stars, read the next book, and then die when her newest book comes out. So basically these are a few of my 5-star premonitions, 5-star predictions. Is that what people usually call it? I feel like it's usually 5-star predictions, not premonitions like a weirdo, Monique. So these are a few of my 5-star predictions. We have mainly fantasy in here because we all know that is what I mainly read. However, I am very excited to read each and every one of these books, and I'm hoping I will get to do it soon. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit subscribe button at the same time so you don't miss out on any other videos from me. You can also click the little bell which will give you a notification when I put up a new video, which I do regularly. Let me know in the comments below what book you recently read that is a 5-star, or what book you are predicting to be a 5-star. And then I hope that you are having a wonderful day. And remember that I'm proud of you, you're doing great, and I'll see you next time with another video. Bye.